actually did stream to YouTube for our last Drinking in Bed episode, but the reason Taylen's making that face is because I made the video private, so no one saw it. So,
oh well.
Yeah. So, okay, so they got this going. I'm going to set up, it looks like YouTube is connected and Facebook is connected. We see Periscope people coming in, so yeah, I think we are good to go.
All right.
I'm just going to check, though, see if anyone commented on the Facebook one.
Okay.
And
just to see if it's...
it looks like we have a comment. I haven't seen the comment come in from Facebook yet.
Let's see.
Let me
see. It takes a moment or two. Nope, all Periscope so far.
Okay, let me just do that one more time.
All right, we're going to try one more time. No, we're going to go on, I promise. If you have a drink, though, feel free to start.
Yeah,
you don't have to wait for us.
Yeah.
We're all friends here.
No volume. No volume. Okay.
Oh. Well, that's a problem.
Really? I see it coming on. I see... Okay, let me just do a test here. I heard myself earlier, so...
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
Huh. Let's see.
Oh, I hear it.
Yeah.
There's volume.
Okay. Turn the volume up on your computer.
Yeah.
Make sure your computer isn't muted.
Joe, you stressed me out there for a second. Thought I screwed something else up. Okay, so I'm going to just check and see that we got... let's see.
Facebook all set up. It'd be nice to get those coming in.
Yeah, definitely.
And while you're getting that set up, I'm going to go ahead and do some social media myself.
Okay.
Make sure we get this spread. And you too, if you're excited about this, feel free to spread the word.
Where's my apricot margarita? So many things to make. So many things. Oh, hey, that looks like it is a... That's a YouTube.
All right.
That's
so
a YouTube
is
thing.
hooked up. Great.
So we got another one working. Okay.
All right.
It says we're good. So I'm assuming. So if you are, Joe, we're going to get to that very, very, very shortly. So if you're watching on Facebook, could you please leave a comment, because I can't tell if the comments are working.
We have 2 comments now.
And I don't see anything.
Whoa, let's turn
What are
this
the
down.
comments?
Everything's working okay here.
What are the comments from Facebook?
That's the one.
Oh, there it
Everything's
is.
working okay here. Oh, great.
Okay, we are
We
good.
are set
Thank
up.
you so much. Is that Jenica? Is that how you say that? I'm not sure.
I'm the one who gets to struggle with names today.
Yeah, you get to struggle. You get to struggle with names and people asking about cock.
Family friendly, Jerry. What do you all stream on all the channels? Yeah, so we're streaming the same thing across YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Periscope, which is Twitter.
Yes. First off, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Whatever medium you're watching on, if you're watching on Periscope, if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, they should all come in to Taylen. I'm assuming there's probably going to be a bit of a delay, so if you ask something and it takes us a little second to get to it, it's probably just because as people pointed out last time, we have a really small computer right here. Someone was really hung up on the size of it. Is it working? Is it still okay? So
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll get to some of those questions now. First of all, Oliver says, "Hey, how are you guys doing?"
Great. Great. Although today's a sad day, I have to say. So today we lost Adam West.
Yeah.
Which I'm super bummed about. So anyone that knows me knows that I'm a huge comic book person. Like, I got my Wonder Woman glass here for my water.
Wonder Woman's joining us.
Woman. Like, I love comics, and just a huge, huge bummer, because Adam West and that 1960s Batman was probably my first introduction into live action or even animated comics, and I don't know. Plus, he was on what voice? He did a voice for one of the TV shows.
Family Guy.
Family Guy, right? He was the mayor on Family Guy. Yeah. Just a huge loss, yeah. So peace out to Batman.
We'll have a drink.
We will definitely toast.
We may not pour one out for our homie, but we'll at least
we'll
toast
pour
it.
one out inside of us. So
Perfect.
Yeah, so bummed about the Batman thing, but just interesting week in general. We've had lots of news going on this week, Comey testimonials. So there's a good reason that we have five bottles of wine. So
well, that leads us right into Joe's question: is what are we drinking today?
What are we drinking today? So probably the thing that people are noticing the most is this Charles & Charles Rosé, which is just
a massive bottle.
A massive bottle. I mean, this is this says like, let's get the party started, right? So we're having that. We have this Bodini, this blend here that we'll be trying out. We have Deloche. I forget what the Deloche one is. It's a Zinfandel. So we have the Zinfandel from Deloche. By the way, all of these wines are supplied by Whole Foods Market. So thank you very much for our wine sponsor. Mm-hmm. They keep us well lubricated.
Hydrated.
There's this butter Chardonnay.
That also means that you can find all of these at Whole Foods.
Yes, you can find all of them at Whole Foods. And I think a good chunk of these are actually on sale right now at Whole Foods because they give me a pretty healthy budget to buy wine with, and I didn't spend all of it getting these wines.
Disappointed in you, right?
Well, and I was like, we're only going to, like, I think last time we talked, we were like, we're only going to do 3 wines. And here we have 5. So, and then last but not least, we have this Ridge Valley 2014. I'm really excited about this one. This is also mostly Zin, but I love Ridge wines, and I don't think I've tried that one. So, yeah, we have some good stuff.
Yeah, we're excited.
Some good stuff.
Jump on in.
If you have any questions about the wines, feel free to ask those, or anything else. We're just going to go through them. We're going to talk about the tasting notes. Some of the wines will go into like how they're grown, but the whole point of this is just to really expose you guys to new wines. So if you're looking to try a new wine, here's a great selection. We have everything from Chardonnay to Zin and in between. So good choices.
Yep.
Anything you want to talk about?
Nope.
I think I need some water. My Wonder Woman glass needs some water.
All right. Well, do you want to pass the wine glasses and I'll start pouring while you get the water going?
That sounds amazing. Okay.
All right. I mean, we're starting with the Chardonnay. Isn't that water? Or close enough?
It's close enough.
Okay. I'll take a little too, please.
I'm pouring it into my Wonder Woman glass here. I just have to give a great shout out to, so a little bit of history about me. I moved out from Ohio to California when I was 3 with my parents, obviously. They moved out here with another family, to start a business together, and the Padalicks. And they are quite familiar with how much of a Wonder Woman fan I am since they've known me since I was 3. And they found this in their garage, this 1978 vintage Pepsi Wonder Woman glass, and gave it to me last time we had dinner. And I'm very, very thankful because I looked on eBay. It's like $100 if you want to get one. So,
well, that is awesome.
Right.
Big time props for that one.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Okay, so we have the Chardonnay, right, that we're starting with first. Let me get the
So,
guitar.
I don't think we have anything for this one.
That's true. I don't think we do.
So we're just going completely off the cuff here.
So I'll be the first to admit I'm not a fan of buttery Chardonnays.
Well, there's no guarantee this is buttery.
There is no guarantee. I mean,
but the label kind of says it probably is.
It does say butter.
But don't let it affect your taste.
And I'm just going to check on our streams really quick since we're everything is going.
Yeah, we haven't had a comment or anything in a while, so let's just make sure.
Yeah, it says it's online. YouTube still says it's connecting.
Great. All right.
Let me.
Well, YouTube was live.
Yeah, it says it's all good.
We got a comment a bit ago, so I think it is. All right.
So we have here a buttery Chardonnay. Hopefully, maybe it says butter. So I think it's false advertising if it's not buttery.
It's true.
I'm not the biggest fan of those, but I wanted to give this a try because I thought, okay, you know what? A lot of wineries don't own the fact that they're buttery. This one is calling it out. It's like, hey, we're butter.
Right in there. Yeah. Just coming at it. I appreciate that.
It's going to be buttery.
Yeah. It'll be like we were talking about earlier. It'll be an apple covered with butter.
Right.
It smells pretty fruity too.
Can I ask what you do or don't like about for you what don't you like? Is it just the flavor of the buttery Chardonnay, or I have a very specific reason. For me personally, it's I tend to look at wines more about how I can just hang out and drink them with a friend versus food. I know that food pairing is a big part of it, but I like a wine that I can just pop open and share with friends. Yeah. So buttery Chardonnays are usually a little too heavy for that for me. But if you have them with food, they're not so bad. But that's my main reason. I tend to a crisp, appley Chardonnay is. Yeah,
same. Very much for me. It's all about just the actual taste preference. I like. I guess it kind of comes from when it comes to candy or something like that. I like soury, I like tangy, I like something that's gonna have a little bit of a bite, and the crispy the crisp wines are gonna have a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
And the butter kind of smooths that out and kind of erases that a little bit. So it comes from a taste point for me. And I'm much more of a just drinker, not necessarily a pairing with food.
Right.
When I drink wine.
Right. Okay, it's not as buttery
Whoa,
as I
yeah, I was
expected.
gonna say, I was waiting for it and waiting for it.
Right.
It's there,
Yeah,
but it's very little, and it's very much at the end.
yeah, and I would say it's more creamier than buttery. Like it's not. It's just kind of like you kind of get that malactic kind of, creaminess to the wine. It's not. It's not really heavy in the sense like there's a pretty crisp finish for a buttery Chardonnay.
For something that we were expecting to be pretty buttery. It's very subtle.
Okay, I would still open this up and just show this to friends. This is not limited to a food Chardonnay. This I could drink if it's really hot out on the porch.
Yeah.
Like I would.
Or, just kind of, it was like hanging out with some friends, just on an evening. I would still probably go with a more crisp one for a hot day. Yeah. But this one can definitely fill in that spot. So
it's floral too. It's not. I mean, there's definitely some fruit in there, but it's.
I'm getting a lot of fruit. Yeah. But there is floral. Yeah.
I'm just gonna check on our streams because I'm all nervous because no one's saying anything.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that that's happening.
So I'm gonna turn down the volume.
Well, one thing that
I see it's on Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. One thing that goes really great with Chardonnay that I like to do when I pour myself a glass is make sure I get my toenails painted. I didn't have enough time to finish it. I only got one this morning, so...
What color are you doing?
Don't mind. Oh, this is a purple. It's a beautiful shade of purple. It'll go nice with some of the later wines, I bet. Can you pair colors with... I think so, right?
This buttery Chardonnay definitely pairs with your toenails.
I think it'll go better with some of the wines we have coming up, some of the deeper reds.
Definitely the Rosé. I mean, that, like, Rosé and...
Don't mind me.
Nail painting is the way to go. And also, I'm just checking on our streams because, in case you don't know, like we're using some new technology to kind of stream everywhere, and it's a little overwhelming. I'm just trying to make sure everything is working, so I apologize.
And no, it's not Randy's fault. We love you, Randy.
I can't tell if it's working on YouTube or not.
Huh. Well, hopefully it is.
But it says that
YouTube live streams are notoriously hard to find.
Yeah.
Which is annoying. They'll figure it out. It's new.
It is. Yeah, it says it's going, though. It says I have some viewers, so I'm just going to go with that. Okay.
All right.
So...
I guess they're just not commenting, maybe? Or this thing stopped working?
This is definitely a cheese and a fruit board Chardonnay.
Cheese, for sure.
Yeah, you could definitely... I mean, I think the delicacies of it, like, there's some... Like, the fruit is definitely there. There's a little, like, some floral notes, and it has that creamier palate to it. I don't know if... I think with just, like, a meal, it would kind of get lost, though. I think that...
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want any, like, pastas really with this, because it would just get lost in that. Maybe some fish would be nice. I could see some, like, white fish would be okay with this. But that would be one of the few things that I would do. Like, something that's going to be kind of more fried and match up with that light buttery, so you could have something a little more buttery. But,
right.
But yeah, this is definitely, like, kind of pre-meal.
Getting
ready for the meal. Yeah. So this is the pre-meal. This is kind of sitting around with some appetizers, with some, cheese.
Yeah.
Different things like that.
I will say, though, if you had, like, some, like, warm gorgonzola dip, like, this would go well. Like, gorgonzola.
I was just thinking I was actually just thinking about spinach and artichoke or something like that.
Yeah.
But like a cheesy version of that would be really nice. Or like a gorgonzola dip.
It's definitely good.
Yeah.
Happy Saturday, y'all. Okay, now I'm gonna check on Periscope because it looks like YouTube's working.
Okay. And our timer did go off.
Our timer went off. Okay, so we need to slam.
We're trying to help keep these a little bit shorter because I know you love being here with us, but sometimes last time we had 3 wines and went for an hour, which is fine.
No,
we were just hanging out, but just want to make sure we don't put you all to sleep.
Yeah. This is a great time too to ask us anything.
Yeah.
Like, if you have wine questions, you want to talk about that, like, feel free to
Jerry knows a lot about wine.
I know a lot about wine. I love to drink wine.
I know that much about wine.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised by this. I was worried. And that's why I bought it. Because I thought, okay, you know what? I want to be honest. Give my honest opinion. And a Chardonnay that, like, screams butter is, like, something that is very much not... for me.
Yeah.
But this is actually pretty good. my cat is running around in circles, just so you guys know. I'm not going to pick her up this time because last time she scratched my face.
Yeah, if you were tuned in last time, you saw it.
Yeah, she literally, she was like, I will cut you. And she did. But she's running around in circles, so I'm just kind of worried that she might, like, what is she attacking over there?
Stuck in your shoes.
God. So, yeah. Okay. So,
all right, well, do you want me to pour the next one and maybe you see like if this got disconnected somehow?
Sure.
Because there aren't any comments. I hope people aren't leaving comments and we're missing them because we would love to.
Yeah, we will.
That's the whole point of this live stream is to have an interactive experience. So if you have any questions, keep them coming in.
I think we need the boa or something.
Yeah, I think so
Where is
too.
the boa? I thought it was It goes with your cooking stone shirt.
I know, that's why I stole it this time. You had it last time. So I wanted it on this time because
that way when people scroll through the stream they see this and they're like, what the fuck's going on?
Look at that, huh? We're going really old school with Jerry's old website branding. If you're not familiar with Jerry and his work, it's now just Jerry James Stones on everything. But at the beginning it was Cooking Stoned because playing on his name.
Yes, yeah, play on my name. I think Facebook might be hosed, but like the others are still connected.
Well, there's no comments on actual Facebook. I've got it up on my phone now, just to make sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll get this going. Would you mind passing over the...
That alone, like the boa, the like, you know, like Slurpee giant size.
This is gas station, like 64 ounce.
Did you only get us 4 glasses each, by the way?
I did. There was only 4.
Did I only have 4? Okay.
You have a set of 8.
I'll have to get more wine glasses.
I figured at the end we'll be able to just...
Okay, so we're going to the
double
Charles.
use something.
This buddy.
All right.
So the one of the reasons...
Tell us a little bit about this winery while I'm pouring here.
Yeah, so the one thing that I really love, I was going to say from like a brand standpoint, like, I think they rock it. Like, I walked into the wine section at Whole Foods. Like I said, they are our wine sponsor, so thank you. You keep us drinking. I walked into the wine section, and not just the size, but that bottle immediately caught my eye. Like, it's just a strong brand.
Yeah.
You know? Which I think that's a hard thing to do in, you know...
The one of the winemaker, or one of the people involved, I don't know if it's the winemaker himself, but his Twitter handle is Kick-Ass Wine.
Kick-Ass Wine.
Or Kick-Ass
I think it's Washington. Yeah.
But still, like, just, you know, a really bold brand, and it's really great.
As someone who once had his brand called Cooking Stone, I really appreciate what Charles & Charles is doing.
Exactly.
So this is a great bottle. And I thought, like, okay, you know, I will admit, just being purely honest, at first I was like, okay, it's a big, giant bottle. So is that, like, a quality issue? You know, am I getting, like, you know, there's, like, a less is more type thing. But I like the branding, and so I really wanted to try it. I had a few email conversations with them, and they said that while they do pull all of their grapes from different vineyards, they do try to focus on sustainability. So it sounds like that's, you know, at the front of their mind as far as making wines, which you have to be sustainable on some level to get into Whole Foods anyway. But you know, last time we did a lot of rosés.
Yeah.
And I felt like, okay, you know, we still want to do a rosé. It's rosé season. It's summer.
Now is the time to start getting stocked up.
This one's not as aromatic as I was expecting.
The one's last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very light, like floral.
Very floral.
But like the overall nose is very light. But floral is the main thing I'm picking up.
That's
about the only thing.
Oh yeah, so Columbia Valley, Washington. That's right.
Yep. Okay, so that makes sense.
So if you want to hit them up on Twitter, it's Kickass WA Wines, right?
Yeah.
So as in Washington.
95% sure that's right.
But I'm sure I could check. We should tweet to them right now that we're drinking their wines. We're going to actually do that. So we're on Periscope.
All right.
Okay, we're busting out Twitter. So speaking of Twitter, if you want to hit up me, I'm at Jerry James Stone. If you want to hit up Taylen, he's at Taylen24. And I'm gonna. We got some people watching. They want the hat.
Hey, it's a great hat, huh?
Like, we're gonna tweet out a photo of us drinking some wine.
All right. You guys want to get in for a selfie with us?
Right? Like, okay.
I better get this in there, huh?
Yeah. So I can't.
Hey.
There we go. Okay. So we're gonna tweet that out right now.
Great.
And that way we can confirm their Twitter handle address.
Fingers crossed.
Right?
All right.
I did notice that their Facebook page, though they say like it's Kick-Ass on the name, they don't use Kick-Ass in the title.
Ooh, that's him.
Yep,
Okay,
Kick-Ass Wine.
Oh, yeah, Kick-Ass WA wine. Yep.
There you go. Okay.
Kick-Ass Washington wine.
Sweet.
Makes sense.
Cheers. Okay, I haven't tasted this yet. How's it?
Sorry, you asked me right as I was about to take a drink. Never ask a question when a man's trying to drink his wine.
It's pretty nice.
Again, it's floral, but fruity as well.
But balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has a nice balance to it. It's not. My thing with rosés is it usually always goes like one way, or it's like kind of in a weird direction sometimes. Like I feel like it used to be that rosé was just sort of this catch-all for like when you didn't know what to make.
Yeah.
And no, this is nice. It's not sugary. It's not syrupy. It's good amount of fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing, it's kind of perfect that we're drinking this now. Like I get a little bit of cherry even, and it's cherry season right now,
Yeah,
which is perfect, especially in this area. There's from between here and San Francisco. We're in Sacramento, by the way, in case you're wondering. Between here and San Francisco is a lot of cherries. So
Yeah.
it's cherry picking season. Or
Yes.
at least it might have just wrapped up. But, yeah.
No, it is.
It's a good.
But not overly tart. Still pretty well balanced. You know,
Right.
It's very drinkable.
But I think that is where the tartness is coming from, like the light tartness that's there.
Let's see what they have to say about this.
Which is nice.
Do you have any questions coming in? How are we?
No, I don't.
Nothing?
Better to watch. Better to watch this. We agree. It says Marietta says better to watch than people protesting or just screaming at each other. Yeah. Grab a glass of wine.
Right? Yeah. If you're joining us, pour yourself a glass and tune in. Is it still connecting to Facebook? Let me see.
I'm just looking at Facebook on the actual
Okay.
on my phone just to
The
get
chat
those
thing
questions.
is, they have a web chat thing. I'm just going to pull that up really quick.
Okay.
Sorry, people, for all the tech stuff, but
We're still figuring this out.
We're
This
still
is episode 2
Yeah.
of the live stream version. So
we're still figuring it out.
it was easier when we just pre-recorded it and posted them when we did this a few years ago, because then comments would come in and we were just sitting around doing
Yeah.
nothing.
Exactly.
But now we're trying to figure it all out as we go.
Doing nothing.
And being on the edge, the cutting edge of technology kind of sometimes means you're
It has
hacking
its
things together.
challenges. Yeah, you're a little less polished than maybe you want to be sometimes.
But thanks for bearing with us.
Yeah, so this.
Well, what do they say about it? What do they say about the wine and how about the actual winery itself?
No, so the label actually is this like legendary poster shop in Nashville created the label for this. So it's based on the American flag, which now that I look at it, totally makes sense.
Oh, I got that right away.
But I totally missed it. I didn't even I didn't get that at all. I didn't even think about it. I am, I guess, un-American. Sorry, Trump.
I mean, in your defense, it is black and pink, so it's not
Right.
right on. But
I mean, I was like, wine. Okay, I'm in.
Rosé and stripes forever, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. I'm not so the fruit in this wine comes from like 16 different vineyards, which is why they really couldn't talk about the sustainability part of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, you can get the specifics ahead of time to make sure that you're getting good grapes and you're getting from places that you want that are sustainable. But after the fact, it's a little harder to pull it all up and remember it all. So they didn't give us all the notes on that.
Yeah, well, I think it's hard to it's hard to sort of quantify what the practices are. You don't want to say we do this.
Everyone's got slightly different versions of what
right.
sustainable is, or they have a slightly different practice, or some
they do focus on that. They try to work with vineyards that are. Yeah. So this wine is 60% Syrah, 70% Grenache, 10% Mourvedre, and 10% Cab Sauv. I don't know the other one. And a lot of other things.
Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that there's so much Syrah.
Right.
That's great.
But I think that explains sort of the some of the. I think I saw another Facebook comment come in. I don't know.
Yes, Marietta again says loving the boa.
Awesome.
This is Jerry's.
It does go well with your shirt, though.
Yeah, it does match nicely.
I'm surprised the cat hasn't tried to attack the boa because she really does like that boa.
Right. Right.
So yeah, this is this is a great picnic wine. You know,
Yeah,
you would have
that would be a great place.
I mean, you have to have a pretty decent sized picnic basket, but I think it's just a great picnic wine. I mean, it's going to go with a lot of things. It's not, if it's a hot day out, like it's going to be refreshing. It's not syrupy, so it's going to, it's bright, and the tartness I think cleans your palate. It's easy to drink. So,
So you've had your butter wine with your cheese. Now you're moving on to some fruits at your picnic.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
This would be really nice with your fruits and kind of getting warmed up for the day.
Yeah. I would probably, I like the tartness in this. I'd probably do some sort of salad. I would still want some cheese in there, so I probably would use like a brie or a gorgonzola to like kind of cut through that a little bit. But strawberries, watermelon, some arugula, like I think would all work really well with this wine. Now I'm hungry.
I wish I had this on Thursday because you're describing the exact salad I had on Thursday.
Really?
I wish I would have had this wine at that time.
Did you make it, or did Sarah make it?
Neither. Someone else made it. I had it for lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Sarah is his wife, by the way.
Yes. Hi, Sarah. You're probably not watching because you're at work right now.
Yeah. She doesn't really use the internet.
And she doesn't really pay attention to the internet.
That's good. Okay, I'm gonna drink some Wonder Woman water, and then
I think it's time to go to the next.
I agree.
All right.
So I think we want this red blend.
All right. Yeah, let's do that.
Let's get into the Deloche.
All right.
Oh no, sorry, Bodini.
Yeah, Deloche is next.
Okay, Bodini.
Sorry.
There we go. We got our notes.
Moving to the back. And we've got another twist off, which is great. I mean,
Can we move some of these out of the way?
I don't think so.
Okay.
It's okay. Right.
Okay.
Nice little display.
So I'll put a list of all the wines that we're tasting here, by the way. So, if you are interested in trying them, I just want to point out, Whole Foods Market is our wine sponsor. And so thank you for keeping us intoxicated. Whole Foods Market. And a lot of these wines are on sale. They give me a pretty decent budget. And I was like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get some really nice wines. I was ready to spend, and then everything was on sale, and I was like, which is not a bad thing. I mean, it's great when it's your money, but when it's someone else's money, I wanted to
Should we get new ones? Do you want to do a quick rinse with the wine?
Yeah, we'll just do a quick rinse. We can pour it into here.
Better finish mine then.
Yeah, you better.
I'll swirl that around a little bit. It's just a little
Trick.
Yep. Yeah. To clean out a wine glass, use the darker one. You're starting with the lighter ones, then moving towards the darker, and then just give a tiny little bit in the bottom. Give it a quick swirl, so that way you can clean out the last wine and make sure that the only thing that's left in there is mostly the new wine that you're about to drink.
Because the last thing you want to do is you don't want to use water.
Yeah. Correct.
So water, because the minerality interacts with the wine in a completely different way and changes the palate experience. So just like Taylen said, rinsing with the wine that you're about to drink, if you're changing wines, is the best way to sort of move on and still use the same glass.
Yes.
So.
Yep. Because not everyone likes to have a million dishes at the end of the day, especially if you're going with this one, because I assume you have some friends coming over. And
it's okay if you don't.
Of course. We don't judge here at Drinking in Bed. But in case you are...
You might need this one because you don't have friends. You can
at least pretend when you go to the, go to the park and have all your stick friends with you.
Right. Okay, so this is Bodini, right?
We got a couple of questions here. The first one is from a friend of mine from high school, actually, asking when I'm coming back to Frazee for a visit.
Who is it?
It's Andy. And
Andy, please tell us something embarrassing about Taylen.
Yeah, leave a comment here, whatever you got.
Any embarrassing photos, we would love to see them.
Yeah. I was actually just back. It was a very short trip in the beginning of May for Mother's Day.
So you didn't visit Andy?
I didn't visit anyone. I was only there for 3 days, and so I just spent it with my mom. So, sorry. My sisters came. They both live a ways away as well. I'm from Minnesota, for everyone who's wondering.
What part?
Way up north, in the middle of nowhere.
Did you just do one toe? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, I did. I started, and actually, this one would have been the perfect one to go with these toes, with painting on the toenails, because you can sit outside on the porch. Sit outside by the lake if you're back in Minnesota, Andy.
It's good lake wine?
Yeah, it's good sitting by the lake, especially now. It's starting to get hot there. It's starting to get into the 80s, 90s. Not quite Sacramento hot, but it gets up there.
We get it high.
Yeah, this will be nice for that. All right, but enough about the rosé. We're now going on to our next.
Yeah, so this is Cielo Rojo, which is just a blend. It's mostly, let's see, we got 40% Cab, a little bit of Malbec, some Cab Franc. So I'm just going to stop there for a second because Cab Franc is like one of my favorite varieties. Varietals.
It's such a small percentage then.
I know, right? Well, that's the thing about it. It's actually, so a lot of wines, at least now, like, you know, if you are a wine lover, you probably have seen a lot of varietals on the shelf that you haven't typically seen before. Like, you know, everyone's seen Zin, Pinot Noir, you know, Cab Franc, that sort of, or Cab Sauvignon, but like that sort of thing is like pretty common. But these other wines, like Cab Franc, it's typically a blending wine. So it's just a little bit to kind of like, you know, get the rounded out. Right.
It's like putting a boa on it.
It's like putting a boa on it. But Cab Franc, like in recent years, has sort of started to come out as, you know, like people are starting to actually farm it and just bottle it as a single grape. And if you like red wines and you love those GSMs, which is like that Grenache, Syrah, what's that? Mourvedre. If you like that blend, that's a typical red blend, like a Rhone wine blend. If you like those, please check out Cab Franc, because Cab Franc is just the wine that is usually used to bring a lot of those together, and you will thank me a lot.
And actually, yeah, like I hadn't even heard of Cab Franc until I moved out to California about 8 years ago or so. And I was at a Lodi Zinfest, and someone had a Cab Franc there. I'd never heard of it, but I knew I liked reds. Gave it a try and was blown away.
Yeah. It's a really great wine. It's hard to get it right, but when someone bottles like I will just stock up. So I'm like, oh yeah, I want all those. Just give me all the Cab Francs. So
well, we'll jump into this shortly. There's a question here from Jenica, I believe.
Okay.
And she's asking, is it possible to know which wines we're tasting beforehand? And so Jerry tweeted some of them out. We tweeted a few of them out, but we'll make sure to post on Facebook as well ahead of time. So check Facebook, check Twitter, check all of the socials. We'll try to get it out a little bit ahead of time too.
Definitely.
And all of these, again, as Jerry's mentioned, can be found at Whole Foods. So if you have a full Whole Foods near you, which if you're in the U.S., you quite possibly do.
And I forget their national presence, but I think they have national too. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Sorry, Whole Foods.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have access to Whole Foods. If not, you know, these wines aren't just sold at Whole Foods. You can find them elsewhere. But that's where they'll always be.
Yes.
Because they're our wine sponsors.
Yes.
So thank you.
And yeah, so we usually we're kind of getting our groove down on doing these, as Taylen mentioned. And so like last time I just picked up the wine like right before we were about to go on air, so we had like no time to do any research. And like this time it was like, okay, like we're gonna get the wine beforehand and email the wineries, and luckily enough they were all very responsive and gave us, you know, lots of information on like what's going on, because sometimes there's sustainable practices. I'm gonna go off path here a little bit, but back in the day when, you know, environmental foods and wines were sort of like coming about, a lot of sustainable wine was crap. And the reason for that is like there was a lot of wineries that they were focusing on farming sustainably. But there's a lot of wineries, because farming grapes is a monoculture, that do sustainable practices. They just happen to be sustainable, but then they just make really great wine. So a lot of times, because of the early wines that were, you know, very, very eco-friendly, but like not very, very good, like a lot of the wines that do those practices kind of were in the closet about it a little bit. They weren't, it's like hard to find that information. So luckily enough, you know, they gave us some of those notes, and we can share that with you, because they should farm that way.
Yeah, and we want to talk about them. We want to celebrate them for doing that.
Right.
Because they're making great wine too. Like this is just an added bonus of that, is that they're being good to Mother Earth too. So it's great to see. And so that gets back to Jenica's comment. In general, if any of you have any feedback on what we're doing, or if you have any suggestions or ideas for future ones, please leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to figure out how we can make these even better for you. So that way we can...
if you have a wine that you want us to review.
Oh, yeah. If you've got a favorite.
Yeah, if you have a favorite, send it in. Like we'll give you a call out on it.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you a big time shout out.
So this is an Argentine wine, which they had some like really interesting comments, which I didn't really know. So one of the biggest issues, I guess, because of the climate of the area, there's not a lot of, they don't have to deal with a lot of like pesticides. Like here in California, we got everything. So, there's a lot to deal with when it comes to not only insects, but also rodents. And there's lots of ways to fight that off from a sustainable standpoint. For example, you can use cover crops in between growing the grapes, which allows for like the good insects to come in. You can use chickens, which will, go through and eat the insects. You just have to be careful that they can't reach the grapes. Right. You can also use sort of like I've seen like pygmy sheep used in the same capacity.
Oh, that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so lots of ways to use animals and like vegetation to prevent the wrong insects from attacking your grapes. As far as rodent control, you can put owl boxes out in the vineyard.
That's my favorite way.
I love and it's cool and like sad. I don't know if you've seen a vineyard with owl boxes, but like around the owl boxes, you'll see this like circle of bones. It's like you're almost about to have a seance, right? It's just like a circle of rat bones.
Well, owls have seances every night.
Well, of course,
before they go out hunting.
They got the little owl Ouija board, and so there's lots of things to do. But they were saying in Argentina they don't necessarily have quite the those issues. But the thing that you do have an issue with is hail, which I never even really like. Yeah. That's the great thing about different terroir and like different growing regions, like the way that they solve those problems. So they have these sort of unpredictable yet frequent hailstorms that they have to deal with. So they have hail nets that they put over the grapes to prevent the hail.
It's incredible,
right?
Yeah. Like I know hail happens here, but it's not frequent enough where you would invest in hail nets over your wine.
I mean, you could, but it would be silly. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna read this off. So this is 7% Malbec, which awesome, love Malbec. 40% Cabernet Sauvignon, 6% Cab Franc, which I love. Also another great blending grape, which this one has in it, is 7% Petit Verdot. So Petit Verdot falls in that same category as Cab Franc. It's typically used for blending, but when someone does a single varietal bottling and they get it right, it's really amazing. So I highly recommend checking that out. This is also 40% Merlot, and then I have Malbec in there twice. So,
well, maybe it's just two different types.
It's a really good Malbec, so it had to be mentioned twice.
I guess so. You can already tell that this one's going to be, well, at least from the nose. I guess it doesn't guarantee what the flavor's going to be, but the nose.
It's big.
Yeah, it's got some spice. It's got some smoke. Yeah.
How are we on the? I'm gonna check on our. Looks like our comment thing is not working correctly. So
yeah, it is not at all, which is sad.
Can we relaunch it?
Sure.
Here. Okay. I will do that.
You want to take a swig as well, and then we can talk about it while you're trying to do it, or you just want to...
Sure, I can drink and do exactly at the same time.
Isn't that the only way to do it? Sorry.
Ooh, there's tannic. That is tannic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Which is like, coming off of that Chardonnay, which was not overly buttery, but like really creamy.
This is stark.
Stark
contrast.
Right.
But yeah, you did, like, there is that little bit of spice in there that you could smell. Came from the nose to the palate.
So tannins in wine are like, if you drink tea, it's the same sort of thing that like when you drink like tea after you drink it, that like your mouth just feels like, there's no saliva left. It's like you see that little like, it's like really cleans the palate, like literally cleans the palate. Those are tannins. That's the tannins in wine.
Yeah, I can feel like a brush comes through and kind of wipes it out. That's what I'm feeling on this.
Yeah, definitely.
Cleans it out. That'll set us up nicely for the other reds too.
And now I would say it's a little like, I wouldn't say this one's as balanced though. I mean, it's good. There's a little bit of fruit, definitely a lot of spice.
But that's the main thing.
But those tannins,
that is the thing that kind of you get the spice and you get the fruit right away. A little bit of those dark berries off the bat, but then just kind of comes in and wipes it out.
Yeah,
cleans the palate.
This is hearty though. Like you definitely want, it looks like it's logged down. Okay,
this is very hearty. Definitely. Okay. So if you're watching on Facebook and you have questions, talk to us there. Or if you're watching on Periscope,
we apologize.
Come give us a We're sorry we haven't gotten to your questions because
it looks like we have lost internet.
Oh, that's probably why.
I'm just going to point out that I hate this machine. I'm going to ramble about the tech. So
Windows will not be a sponsor of ours.
So the company that we're using, Restream, which I'm very thankful for, they allow us to stream everywhere. They built this Windows application in order for us to monitor comments, and
Oops.
Are we out of time?
Whatever.
And so I had to buy a Windows machine in order to, because who has that these days? And so I had to buy this Windows machine to monitor the comments, and it wasn't.
I'll get back to painting my toenails while you're doing that.
Okay, I'm gonna also. They have a chat app. I'll see if I can get that to work.
Yeah, hopefully we can get those guys because we want to hear from you. Like,
We definitely want to hear.
this is the whole point of this, and the whole reason we switched to the live format is because we want to actually interact with you. We want to be able to talk with you. We want to be able to drink some wines with you.
But we're just having some technical difficulties.
Paint our toenails with you.
And this isn't because we're drinking. I wish we could blame it on that, but it's not.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
So you can bring it up on your.
You can't bring it up anymore?
Well, they have this web chat app, but it's not working. I'm having trouble getting connected to the internet. Okay. I'm going to restart this machine.
Okay.
And
So if you have comments, we're very sorry, but we will. We can grab them on Facebook. So if you're on there, if you want to switch over to that,
yeah, we're coming
great.
back. We're trying to get back on. Sorry about that.
We'll try to get it on. In the meantime, I'm just getting my toenails ready for the week ahead.
So back to this Bodini red blend,
Yes.
the Cielo Rojo. Yeah, this is grilling wine or like meat wine. Or
Oh, yeah,
like
big time.
Lamb. And I'm vegetarian, but I'm gonna tell you, like, if you eat those things, this is a wine you want for that.
Yeah.
This is not like if you had just a pasta lightly tossed with, like, say, a light tomato sauce. No, this is way too bold for that. You need something that can stand up to this wine. And the thing is, like, the tannins in this wine, whatever you have, it's gonna clean that right out. So it's gonna work with, like, really bold, spicy, hearty, possibly meaty lamb, whatever. Yeah. But it's good.
Yeah, I stopped eating red meat just about a year ago. 10 months
slowly
ago.
coming over to the dark side.
About 10 months ago.
We welcome
but
Taylen.
this is something that makes me want to eat, like yeah, piece of lamb or a big steak or something like that.
Yeah,
something that's going to be hearty and bold. Yeah, because this wine is ready for that. So if that's the type of person you are, if that's what you eat, if that's what you enjoy, this is going to be a wine for you. It's going to go great with that.
And for a wine that is sort of, built on these kind of, like, Malbec, Cab Franc, Petit Verdot, these sort of heartier kind of, they can be somewhat kind of barnyardy, like they have these like more stinkier notes. Like, this is not overwhelming in that capacity. It's actually, it's updating. I hate this machine. I'm so sorry if you're commenting, like, we can't interact with you right now. But
unless
it's
it's on
because
Facebook.
I hate this machine. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's definitely a wine for something that's bold. So you, like...
Where I picture myself, I know you said grilling, but where I actually picture myself drinking this wine is sitting in, like, 30 years ago, sitting in a steakhouse.
Are you even 30?
I am 30, but just bear with me, okay? Bear with me. Pretend for a moment. I got some grays out there. Mostly from you. But I see myself sitting in a steakhouse with the reason I need to be like 30 years ago is because smoking a big cigar.
Right, okay.
And drinking this alongside it, yeah.
There's like wood paneling.
Yeah, definitely.
Leather seats.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there's definitely a cigar factor here. This
right.
is,
this is that type of wine, and by all means, like, go out and grab yourself
it's
a bottle
chewy.
of this.
It's a very chewy wine.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I will say, like, they did a really good job. The thing that works about this wine
I
is...
can see that, but
yeah.
watching the legs, yeah.
It's not... the thing that makes it work, I think that makes the chewiness, the heaviness, the boldness, and all that work is those stronger tannins. And like I said, it's not necessarily balanced. It's a little bit more on the tannic side, but it works well because it's a bold wine. And I think, there's, like, if you're drinking a wine like this and it didn't have those tannins, your palate would just get beat up so quickly that you wouldn't be able to enjoy the wine or anything that you're eating. So I think they did a really good job. I usually look for balance, but I'm okay with it in this capacity.
Yeah. And if you keep it in your mouth for a little bit... I gotta stop saying things like that, right, when you're taking a drink.
Just keep it in your mouth. That's what she said. Yeah.
But as you hold it there, you can get some of those other flavors. You can get some of the spicier flavors. It's like the moment that you swallow that, get your mind out of the gutter, Jerry. The moment that you swallow, that's when the tannins like come in and just take over.
Definitely, yeah. It's definitely on the.
So if you want some of those flavors, like hold on to it for a little bit.
But if you are like me, vegetarian, and not going to have lamb or steak or any of that stuff.
You want something hearty.
Yeah, you definitely want something hearty. And I would say, like, while I do love portobello mushrooms, like, anyone who's in the vegetarian space knows how abused portobellos are as the go-to cuisine ingredient. But this is definitely something that would, like, you know, if you seared up a portobello that you marinated, like, would be really great with, like, the you know, the wines in here, the Malbecs, the Petit Verdot, the Cab Franc really play well with, like, the sort of, like, fungal notes of, like, a mushroom. So you definitely want that.
Yeah, and I lost my train of thought.
But Peter's updating, so we can't get your comments. So we haven't. I'm just gonna check.
We're really sorry.
Yeah, we're sorry, guys. Like, this is technology at its, well, whatever it is, but it's you have the Facebook.
Tech at its best and at its worst. Yeah, I have Facebook up. I don't know if you want to open up YouTube maybe.
Okay, I don't think I could. I tried to view it and I couldn't.
Oh. Hey, I didn't cut myself. It's not bleeding in bed.
It's not bleeding a bit yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you watched the last episode, Jerry tried to bring his cat, who's hanging out over here next to us, not quite ready to come on the bed.
You should pick her up. See what happens.
Yeah. Well, he tried that last time.
It was
a
like
couple weeks
claws everywhere.
Was not a fan of it.
No, it's not. She was not a fan.
Kitty was not made for TV apparently, or was not ready.
She was not ready. She was not ready. No.
She'll get there eventually. I mean, her dad is on the streams all the time, so she'll have to get used to it eventually. But she wasn't ready.
While we can't seem to get to our comments, Periscope is telling me that I had 1,000 people follow me. So apparently it's working.
Okay. Well, at least it's live there. We're really sorry that we're not answering your questions. We do love you.
We're trying.
You can tweet at us though, and we'll get to your questions afterward. We'll answer any of them. So if you want to tweet it at Jerry James Stone or at Taylen24, we'll get to your questions later. We're really sorry we can't do it in real time though. We'll get this figured out one of these days.
Yeah, we're getting better.
Right. We're getting there slowly but surely.
This thing it says 100% complete, but then don't turn off your computer. So just plug it back in and let it do its thing for a bit.
You want to grab a couple glasses?
Yeah.
What do we know about this one? So this is the Deloche. This is the one that I'm really excited about.
So excited for this one.
Delicious.
And I just say that because I didn't know anything about the 3 wines that we've had. So the last 2 that we're enjoying are Vineyards that I'm familiar with. So like I, have been salivating about these for like since I purchased the wines. But I have not had the other ones before, which is why I purchased them, because I was like, what's this butter thing? Let's give it a try. And lo and behold, like I said, I wouldn't actively go for a buttery Chardonnay, but if I knew a friend that liked that kind of stuff, this is the one that I would pick up and take to their house, because
then you could still enjoy it.
I could still enjoy it too.
So if you're one of those people that has the butter friends, but you're not, or vice versa, if you're a butter friend, but you know some of your friends aren't.
I think butter friend is the new hashtag. I'm going to tweet that out.
Be a friend of butter.
Because, yeah, like, I...
What's their Twitter handle?
I want to have...
tweet at them.
I know, right? What is their Twitter handle? I think they're... Are they jam sellers? They might be jam sellers.
Yeah, that's bold.
Yep, they are jam sellers.
Grab me a couple of glasses and I'll pour while you're tweeting at them.
I will. Do we need to pour out the... No, we're good. We're good.
We got just the right amount of glasses.
Okay, so do you want to give me a roll glass?
No. I'm still drinking, Jerry.
Got it. Okay.
We have after the show.
So, jam sellers, butter friends, right? That's what we're...
Butter friend.
That's like Butterface, but...
No, but it's better.
Yeah, because you're not being mean to people.
Or bitter beer face.
What's that one?
That's
the
whole really old, was it Keystone? Is that who did this? I believe so. I think it's an old Keystone-like commercial. God, can't believe they actually advertise for that stuff.
Right. Okay, so I think we should take a photo though with the butter bottle.
Okay.
Since we're gonna.
You want to join our selfie again?
Okay. Yeah. Here we go. Okay. Let me just. There we go. So there we go. Okay, got our butter friends. Boom. So R.L. Jackson says he wants the hat. You're gonna have to ask Taylen. It's his hat. He brought it.
It might
actually be Captain.
It might even be Brittany's hat. Our mutual friend, Brittany.
Captain and Tennille. That's what he says. We're
hey. I guess I'm Tennille, huh?
I guess you are.
That's all right. That works for me.
You are painting your toenails.
This is true.
I think.
So, I mean,
that is awesome.
All right.
Okay. It's getting weirder by the moment.
Yeah, it always does. Whatever.
So I'm just gonna say that my cat is just a litter box, and it's making it hard to smell the wine.
I know.
Let's just close that door.
I was gonna say something, but I didn't know if it was you.
No, it is not. It was definitely the cat.
I figured.
I will own up to it when it's me. Okay, so this is. We got the.
This is the Deloche.
Deloche. Okay.
They make some really delicious. If you're not familiar, they make some really delicious wines.
Yeah, very delicious.
Delicious.
Delicious wines. So we have a Zin here. I'm just gonna. Is that thing still going?
Yeah, of course
It's
it
a
is.
crappy. Okay, let's see if I can pull up on my phone. Sorry, I just want to make sure that we're not missing your guys' comments, and it's really annoying me that.
I'm gonna swing.
Sorry.
Stop
okay.
right there.
It's okay. So they have this web chat thing, but I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, I can actually smell it again now.
So Deloche, I'm gonna say like probably the variety that in the red department that I have difficulties with is Zin, because it has such a swinging palate. You know, you have your spicier Zins, you have your jammier Zins, and people are kind of polarized on what they like. Like some people really love those like jammy, you know, delicious, like just fruit everywhere type Zinfandels, and some people like it like more on the peppery, spicy. And then there's obviously the happy medium.
I'm on the peppery, spicy side. That's what I like in most of my reds. Like pretty much any red that I have, I like it on that end. Not all, but that's kind of where I tend to. That's why I like to drink Zins. That's why.
Yeah.
So.
This one, I think you're gonna get your wish with this one. It's
starting off that way from this end.
But like it's, you know, the thing that I would say, like for me, like it's really mood dependent. But I tend to, if I'm just drinking, opening up a bottle of drink with friends, it's like the Kinsey scale of Zin. It's like whatever's just a little less on the bisexual side, like towards jammy, like whatever that is, like that's what I like. I like just like jam curious Zin is what I like. Okay. Like I like the peppery. I think it's great for the palate, you know. But if I'm just drinking it, like if it's not with food, the peppery for me is a little bit of a palate blaster, so it gets heavy fast.
It does, yeah, absolutely. But I kind of like that.
So
I like having my palate blasted.
The way
you walked into that one.
Well, cheers to palate blasting, and keep it in your mouth longer. So like
hashtag palate blasting.
It just gets worse because we keep drinking. That's the problem. Like I keep thinking like, oh well, you know what? We won't be so crass.
Worse or better?
Worse.
Vote now.
Right. Exactly. Vote now. So give
us a bunch of angry emojis on Facebook.
Right,
That's worse.
right.
Give us a bunch of laughing emojis.
Right?
Give us a bunch of laughing emojis. If it's better.
Actually, Taylen brings up a good point. If you're tuning in on Periscope, this would be an amazing time to give us a heart. Like you just hit the video, give us some hearts, and let us know. It lets us know that you are enjoying what you're watching. We don't really know otherwise. So.
Even though this stupid computer isn't showing us right now, we'll know.
We started.
We'll feel it in our hearts.
All
right.
I think we just hard reboot it.
It's up to 30% now, so we're getting.
It said 100%.
Yeah, that was the last update. Alright. Let's try the Deloche. I want to try this.
So the Zin, it kind of swings from peppery to jammy. If I'm just drinking with friends, I like something that's a little bit in the middle, but leaning towards the fruity side.
I think you're going to be surprised.
Really?
Yeah.
But if it's like for food, definitely, well, cheese plate, more jammy. If it's like real food, more peppery.
Yeah.
Okay, this just lied to me.
Yeah.
This is not.
Yep. Exactly. This is your jam.
Deloche. You tricky little vixen.
I know. I love it.
So this is definitely on the fruitier side. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a full Kinsey 6, but it's a little bit more than jam curious. It's somewhere in between. It like.
Hashtag jam curious.
Yeah, it's like it's marching in the jam parade, but it's not quite full on out and proud jammy.
It's nice and
it's Pride Month, so we're using lots of Pride terms. Okay, so let me just read you some stuff about this. So Deloche, I will point out, kind of like the Charles and Charles Rosé that we went over earlier, they farm sustainably, but this particular wine comes from a lot of different places where it's sort of hard to summarize what their sustainable practices were for this particular bottle. But they do, like Charles & Charles, focus on sustainability
and look for those grapes. Yeah,
they do. And I will say that like when they do actually have like the full vineyard, like they are legit sustainable. So like good stuff. Okay, let's just see what they say here.
Well, while you're looking at that, your mom chimed in saying, "You guys are hilarious. You look awesome in the hat, and heart your blonde partner in crime." Thanks, Marianne.
Your wife does refer to me as what?
My boyfriend?
Yeah.
I was trying to think of how to keep this PC.
Well, boyfriend's PC.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so this is, let's see here. Cherry, raspberry. Oh, and they definitely talk about like the sort of like blackberry kind of, there's fruit. This is a fruit wine.
It's very much so. It doesn't smell like it, so the nose again makes you think. It's not that it's strong, but it makes you think that it's going to be like a spicier wine. But then,
I was expecting more spice.
You. Yeah, completely surprises you.
There's a spicy finish though, so it's clean. So I think one of the problems, well, it's not a problem, it just depends on what you like, but one of the things about a jammier Zin is that it gets into this like spot of being like really kind of syrupy, and it can be, and that's for various reasons. That could be one, when they're farming, like there's a lot of water, they're overwatering the grapes, they get like really big and sugary, and just you get this like or if they're out in the vineyard for a very long time, so they're kind of like left out there a little bit too long, so the Zin can get a little jammy from that too. But this is not. It says pairs well with pizza. I would agree with that. Pasta, pizza.
Yeah.
It's
because it's a little fruitier, but it's got that spice at the end.
Yeah,
it cleans it up, so it can go with some food.
Yeah. Like margarita. Like I would definitely go for that.
Margarita pizza, not margarita mixed with wine. Let's just be clear about this.
Well, I mean,
although who was it before? Was it Oliver? Someone was asking before where their apricot margarita was.
They're asking the apricot margarita, yes.
So maybe you could try this with that.
There you go.
Might not be the best pairing, but
this was. You could actually make a margarita with this. I could
make
that.
it with this. I thought you were just going to be double fisted.
Well,
with one in each.
We don't want to bring that up. Let's see if there's anything else.
The fruits are definitely there. I don't know, I can't remember which ones you mentioned, but yeah, cherry,
lots of
blackberries
berries
there.
Yeah,
lots of berries, lots of very bold.
But I would say if you appreciate a peppery Zin, and you can tell me because you're that person, this isn't going to offend you.
No,
it's jammier, but it's not overly jammy. So this, this is the Deloche Zinfandel.
Jam curious.
If you're jam curious,
jam curious.
I think that we need a photo of that. Okay, so you get the bottle. I will tweet out jam curious.
I mean, it kind of works that I'm wearing the wig too.
It does work that you're wearing the wig. Okay, hashtag jam curious.
Again, if you have any questions, if you're just tuning in and you are watching on Periscope or YouTube, we're really sorry that we're not getting those comments. We're waiting for the computer, which actually just booted up. But ask us at Jerry James Stone or at Taylen24, and we'll get to your questions later after the stream. So really sorry that it's not working right now.
Yeah,
we will get to that.
Oh, it's up. Okay, I'll fix it. Oh, we need that bottle there. Okay. Nice.
All right. You guys are welcome to join our selfies as well. So take a selfie of yourself and tweet it at us. Get us going.
Method Brewing just tweeted.
Hey.
Okay, I want to have it. I'll set us up.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know if it's Ryan or if it's Kenton or Paul or Rob, but hi guys. Those are some brewer friends of mine. They're going to be starting an amazing brewery in San Francisco soon. Which
I just want to say, if they get some sustainability practices going, that I know of a particular booze review show that would love to have their product.
Thinking face emoji. Oh, us. Yes, absolutely. And yeah, we I know that we have all done pretty much all wines, but if you know of sustainable if you know of any sustainable other types of booze that you'd like us to review, give us a shout about those. If you have any beers that you love that practice sustainability.
You should show them.
If you have any spirits,
whether booze or just living in your house,
or owl spirits.
You should show them how your shirt matches the.
Well, it actually double matches. So the Cooking Stone matches my shirt. This is Jerry's former brand, was Cooking Stone.
Yes.
His name is Jerry James Stone. But then he switched to be a little more mainstream. He sold out.
I did. I sold out.
And then on the other side, it matches with my partner in crime here, Captain. So there you go.
Minus the hat.
Well, yeah, but it just stops at the glasses anyway, so you don't know what's up there.
Okay, so we're on the internet, so we might actually be getting comments soon. Sorry, guys. We're doing our best.
Yes.
Oop, we're logging in.
Hey.
Forget about it.
Should we switch to the final line?
I want to drink a little bit more of the delicious stuff. Okay, so just saw my mom's comment. There we go.
We have a full bottle of it, Jerry.
But I want to drink more now.
I know. It's so hard.
Okay, look, we got comments.
All right.
You might actually even be able to reply, I think.
Right on there?
I think so.
Oh, that would be
wonderful. I might be pushing it. All right. Can I see Jerry's fruity side? Thanks, Lee. I only have one side. It is
Jerry, go get your fruity side.
Okay, I'm going to get my fruity side.
I think we know what your fruity side is.
Oh, is this going to fit me? I don't know.
We'll find out. I love that you're off camera talking about
it. Right?
About
you can hear me. It feels... Okay. I don't know if this is going to work out. We'll see how this goes. Okay.
I mean, your fruity side is just you.
Right.
You're all fruity side, but...
100% organic.
Hashtag
fruit.
Jam Curious.
Jam Curious. I got my little... What's it now? Tutu?
Yep.
Rainbow tutu?
Okay. Happy Pride Month. Jerry's ready for the parade. When is Sacramento's Pride?
It was actually... we got some more comments.
I think he doesn't hide it.
No hiding. Last weekend. It was last weekend.
Oh, it already happened?
Yeah.
Okay, they did it early.
Yeah.
In Sacramento.
Yeah, it was actually nice because I lived in San Francisco for about 10 years, and I lived in Castro, and Pride was this kind of point of contention because there's always drunk people humping on my block for weeks, and it's Sacramento's Pride is a little bit more subdued and mature and less humping and drunkenness in front of my house.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay.
It's great to go out and celebrate in your own way, but it's nice that this is the way you like to do it, and so the place that you're living now fits the way you want to celebrate. So.
I'm all for the drunk humping. Don't get me wrong, but
right.
Just do it at your house. You know. Okay,
all right.
So we're
go ahead and finish that one.
We're still drinking Delish, right?
Okay. Your mom said, "Oh my God, a tutu," and yes, it is, right?
Hi, Mom. We love
you enjoyed that one.
So I'm trying to remember exactly. I can't believe you're putting it on. So awesome. The good thing about this live stream is we put on more clothes than as it goes on, right?
This is true.
I think the boa works with it actually, though.
Does it?
I think so.
I didn't want to be overload.
No, I mean, come on, yes you do.
Yeah.
And you have it.
There it is. So I had to find it. I had to find my little dongle.
What was that?
Yep.
Keep it in your mouth longer. So you're gonna have to stand up to show them that one probably. So it is Pride Month, so we are overly prided. We have rainbow tutus. Taylen's is illuminated. I think do a little dance there, a little shimmy to.
If I go too far beside, it might be off camera. So
yeah. So we got our rainbow tutus, and his lights up. Got a wig. We got some wine.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean that's the whole point of the show,
right?
I mean, kind of.
Which I was trying to think of, how did we end up doing this? I mean,
I think we're just looking. You had an entire closet that was stocked from top to bottom with wine.
Should I talk
you
about
were
that?
reviewing it.
Should I talk about?
And we were looking for an excuse to hang out. But
yeah. So I used to review, when I was at Discovery Channel, which is about 5 years ago. which this is actually what launched me into food blogging.
I'll grab those other glasses while you're
Yes, sir.
talking about this.
I was there for about 5 years, but I was reviewing sustainable wineries, which is actually where I first came in touch with Deloche, which I'm drinking right now. Very, like, I just want to pet it. It's like my best friend. Love you.
He loves the jammy wines. They are his jam.
Right? So I was at Discovery Channel, and I had started a sustainable wine blog, and I had been doing it for enough time that, like, not only did wineries send me wine, but they actually wouldn't even tell me that they were sending it. So I would just come home and there would be like 3 or 4 cases of wine at my door, and I had no idea who had sent it until I opened it up, right? A horrible problem to have. First world problem, right?
Yeah.
And so it just kept stocking up and stocking up and stocking up, and eventually I was like, I need to drink this wine, and I would have people over and we would review it, and I would do the wine reviews. We wanted to get through it faster, and Taylen and I, who spent many a nights, you know, dancing throughout the city and being ridiculous, we're looking for a ridiculous way to drink the wine. And we started doing, I just had started my YouTube channel, so we started doing wine reviews, which were great, but because they were pre-recorded, they lacked the comment part that we love.
So on that note, actually, we have a comment coming in from D, who wants to know, hi D, thanks for leaving a comment, how do you choose the wine?
The wines that we have here.
Yes.
So, like I said, Whole Foods Market is our sponsor, and they give me a budget for our wines, and we're very, very thankful. Mm-hmm. And what I try to do is I try to just pick a good range. So I want to talk about different things. So all these wines have different practices when it comes to sustainability, and all these wines have different tasting notes, obviously, because we're tasting everything from like a Chardonnay up to a Zinfandel and beyond. And so if you're talking about that particular process, that's how I choose those wines. I'm not sure if she means he, or I'm assuming she.
D-I-D.
Maybe means how to choose wines for pairing, or if you mean for this. So let us know. Hi D, someone says hi.
Someone else says hi. Yep.
Yeah.
So hi D. You're actually on different streams. So D looks like she's on YouTube, and
that's Periscope.
The person saying hi is saying
Periscope.
From Periscope,
which is why we're doing multi-streaming.
Exactly.
It's like, you know what?
So you guys can be paired.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. You get to pick out where you hang out, and we just are here to drink.
Right.
Now, if I'm looking for a pairing's a little bit different. Just want to answer that just in case that's what you mean, D. Mm-hmm. But once again, first off, thank you so much for asking a question. If I'm looking for a pairing, it's like, I think about it as an experience, mm-hmm. right? So it's not just like what the food is, but like maybe like where the meal is going. So like we were talking about this Deloche that I'm still kind of milking because I love it. It's jam curious. It's definitely
#jam curious.
It's hashtag, but it's not jammy in the sense where you can't pair it with food. It's still really, really food friendly. It's going to work well with pastas, really fresh pastas. Like honestly, the first thing that comes to my mind, like I would skewer and grill a bunch of like heirloom cherry tomatoes, and I would just do like a fine like capellini pasta tossed with like some garlic and basil and like that, because I think the grilled part would work really, really well with like the pepperiness of it, but the jam would still kind of keep it clean and nice and fun. So I look for that kind of stuff, like when I'm pairing, like how can I hit the different notes of the meal.
And if you're just joining, we did this Bodini a moment ago, and this is more for those of you that want something really hearty. This one is more a little bit lighter of a meal, where it's like a pasta or a pizza, as you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
a little bit different style meal.
Definitely, the Bodini is. It's still a drink. I think it's a little bit more on the drinkable side.
Oh,
just
definitely.
As far as I'd say it's a little bit more of a food wine. I think the Deloche is maybe a little bit more of like a hangout and drink kind of wine, but it's not a food wine.
we've got some comments. So Dee's excited that we're wearing a tutu. We are too. That's why we put it on.
It's Pride Month here, and just because the president's not going to acknowledge it, we are.
and T says, "I love white wine. White wine shots.
White wine shot. Okay,
but there you go.
Serious.
All right, but yeah, I mean, it's like a sip.
So I think we have to ask her: do you have a favorite white wine that you kind of lean towards? Because like shots are, I mean, like. That's not just hanging out and chilling. That's
two questions with that. Yeah, do you have a one that you like to do? And two, is it just straight wine, or are you mixing it in with something? Or is this some type of mixer that you're making shots out of? So let us know.
Maybe we should do, since it's summer, I think maybe our next thing should just be white wines. Like
we could do a white wine. Would you guys like that?
A white wine vertical?
D also says that we should try your favorite. Is it hoops? Is it hoopus?
Hoops.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for the suggestion.
Okay.
We will look for
I'm
that and grab one.
Yeah.
Let us know if you like any particular type that they make, so we can check that out.
And let us know. Let us know if you've tried any of these wines too, because I'm kind of curious if you've had, not specifically the vintage that we're having, but if you've had anything from Deloche or Charles & Charles and Gem Cellars, any of those. Let us know. We'd be interested to hear your feedback on it.
All right, I'm going to force you to grab the next one.
Done.
Ooh. And there's a whole bottle for the post-filming show.
Which we don't put live. It just goes
For
on
obvious reasons.
X2.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Give us a little pride thumbs up.
Awesome. Yeah, so if you're tuning in on Periscope or Facebook or YouTube, do us a huge favor. Like, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart if you're on Periscope, give us a like. It just lets us know that you're enjoying what you're seeing, because there's going to be a lot more of these. And it helps us figure out what to do. So I'm going to have some Wonder Woman. Okay, so I have to talk about the Wonder Woman movie, because it just came out.
Oh, yeah.
So I have
How many times have you seen it so far?
Twice.
Okay. That's actually lower than I thought.
Right, it is lower than I thought. Yeah, but I've been busy. So I would go more if I could. Wonder Woman movie just came out. I'm a huge comic book fan. Shout out to Jackie Pavlik, who gave me this glass that they found in their garage.
Shout out to Wonder Woman, who's hanging out with us today.
Right, Wonder Woman is a 1978 vintage glass made by Pepsi. It's like $100 to look this thing up on eBay. Not that I was going to sell it. I was just like, if I had to buy one, movie just came out. I was a little worried because DC is not. Have you been following the comic book movies? Mm-hmm. They haven't done their best the past few movies.
DC's been on Marvel's been killing it. DC has been.
And I was also like extra sensitive because it's a character I love, right?
Yeah.
But they slayed it. Like, have you seen it?
Seen it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
They like knocked it out of the park. Now there are things that I don't like about it, and those things that I don't like are because I've been reading the comics since like the mid '70s, and there's things that have changed just because of the canon. They always try to reestablish those characters in different ways through the years. That said, it's awesome. It's really, really awesome. There's like
go watch it.
Comedy. There's action sequences that are just badass, and I think what the world really needs right now is just like
a Wonder Woman.
They need a hot chick kicking ass and just like taking names, and that's what we need. And DC delivered. They're like,
I think Elizabeth Warren's pretty hot.
I just pictured her in a Wonder Woman costume.
No.
But it needed, like, it wasn't like the feminism part of it, even though it's really a big part of the comic books, was not over the top. It was just like, so I think if you're, not a feminist, like, you can still ingest it and maybe not be offended and maybe take it in a little bit. If you are, you still feel like you got your just due, and it was just rock solid. So drinking my Wonder Woman water.
Great.
And we're about to bounce on to Ridge Vineyards, right?
Yeah, and we have another suggestion from Sebastian. Sebastian Wood 87.
Hi, Sebastian.
Coming through on Periscope, Twitter. The Legend of 86 to Wit homebrew. So we'll have to check that out, see if we can get our hands on some.
Okay.
And we'll have to check that out. I'm guessing that's a beer. And yeah, like we said, if you have suggestions, we're open to things beyond just wine. We do wine because Whole Foods is a wine sponsor for us.
That's our wine sponsor. But they do have beer.
They do have beer. And we'll have to check this one out.
Also, if you're
D, we wish you were here too. D says, wish I was there.
We have a spot right here for you, D.
And you're here with us actually virtually. So cheers to you.
Also, though, for those of you that are commenting, tell us where you're from, like where you're viewing from. Sebastian, D, like where are you guys watching from? I know where my mom's at. She's like 20 minutes away. I'm surprised she hasn't showed up yet.
Roseville now.
So yeah, tell us where you're from. Give us a thumbs up. Give us suggestions. Love the commenting. Thank you so much.
And on the comic level, we haven't done it yet, but our toast. Cheers to Adam West.
Cheers to Adam West. Mm-hmm. If you are not familiar yet, we lost Adam West today, which is if you watch the 1960s Batman TV show, the kapows and the kazoo and all that stuff, that was him. Introduced me to live action comic book movies, and did the voice for the mayor on Family Guy. Big loss for the comic book community for sure. So cheers to you, Adam West. All right. Oh my. We picked the right wine to toast you with, Adam.
Oh, yeah. Wow. That's so bold and in your face. That is a strong one.
Yeah, that's the kind of, I can't stop. That's the kind of wine that makes you smile. Okay, so we're enjoying this Ridge Three Valleys 2014 Sonoma County.
Just talking about the spice here, like, oh.
Yeah, so this is on the other side of, this is mostly Zin. This is like 65% Zin. But it's on the other side, so this is not Jam Curious. This is, but it's not full blown like spice. It's like really well balanced, good spice, just enough fruit to not blow away your palate. You know, so you're not gonna. If you open this up and share this with friends, I think you could still enjoy it without food. Like there's pepper there, but there's just enough fruit underlying the other tasting notes that.
But your palate's about to wake up.
Yeah,
if it's still sleepy. It's about to wake up.
This put a big smile on my face. This is the I am gonna drunk dial so many people.
This is the bottle that I'm stealing from you. I'm taking home. You can have all the rest, whatever you want. I'm taking this one. I'm stealing this one. And your mom says she's on her way.
She's on her way.
Come on over.
Hi, Mom.
Come on over and grab this.
I have to just give a big shout out to my mom for everyone. I mean, not only because like she's my mom and she puts up with my shit, but like also. I mean, mostly because she's my mom and puts up with my shit. But like, my mom like actually does a lot of work with me. She helps me film a lot of my YouTube videos now because I moved back to Sacramento. She's an integral part, like at chopping, at cleaning up, at pointing the camera, and sometimes folding my underwear when I leave it in the dryer. So she does a great job at helping out. So I'll cheers to her too. The bulk of the YouTube content that I create these days, I couldn't do without her. So, cheers to you, Mom.
Cheers.
And you would hate this wine because she's not a big wine drinker, but it's good.
I got a couple more comments coming through. D loved our suggestion of an all-white wine.
Yes, we'll do it.
So we'll do that, and we'll make sure to post the wines we're going to do ahead of time, so you can join with us.
Do we know what our next show is?
July 22nd, I believe.
I'm just going to confirm that because
no, I'm like 99% sure that's what it is.
Okay,
I'm pretty busy the other ones.
It's not that I don't believe you.
I know. And Lee was with us earlier. I guess his laptop had some trouble, but he's back now. So welcome back.
Yes.
Thanks for leaving a comment.
Saturday, so mark your calendars if you like this and you want to know the wines and everything. Saturday, July 22nd, as Taylen pointed out.
We're going to try doing these every month. It's not going to be the same Saturday every month, so just kind of check it out.
Taylen currently lives in San Francisco, but we're trying to fix that.
Yeah.
So, he's in San Francisco, so he comes into town and we drink, and then we eat, and then we drink, and sometimes we even film it. And
like this.
Exactly. So I'm just going to read what, this is a really important thing to point out. So if you are vegan...
Which she is, she pointed out.
Oh,
she doesn't
okay.
eat meat either.
Okay.
I know she's vegan, but she's vegetarian at least.
Okay, so if you are vegan or vegetarian, a lot of alcohol is not. Something to think about. So most of you... Yeah, I know, right? You think like it's just grapes, but it's not. So a lot of the processing of alcohol involves non-plant-based materials. So, for example, when I reached out to Ridge about this very delicious wine that I want to hug and cuddle,
but you're not going to get to. But I'm going
to. I will hug and cuddle both of you. I'll just put that.
Fair.
It is Pride Month. So this wine is the fining process. They actually use egg whites. So if you're vegan, now there's not going to be any egg whites. Like there's probably like 0.0000001% is left behind in the fining process. But if you're vegan, this is not a vegan wine. If you're vegetarian, there's egg whites. So if you do eat, byproducts from chickens, that's not a big deal. But a lot of times, especially in beer, fish oil is used as the fining process. And what the fining process is if you go and get a wine, like you can see this one here, you can see through the bottle, right? You can see somewhat clearly through the rosé. And when
Depends how drunk you are.
Good point. So you can see through the bottle, right? And so the fact that the actual final product is clear. Is what they do is they use just a little bit, but they use like either fish oil or egg whites. In the old days, they used to use blood, animal blood, not human blood.
I mean,
well,
it's just bleeding in bed.
Whatever. But they use that to like pull out all the particles that are left behind when they're actually fermenting the wine. So if you ever get like an unfiltered wine, which a lot of times red wines will be unfiltered because you can't see through them anyway, an unfiltered wine will be cloudy, and that's because it's not fine. So like that fining process is what will make an alcohol vegetarian or vegan. So I would say that more often than not, a lot of times in like wines, egg whites are a little bit more common these days than say fish oil. But fish oil is still pretty common in beer. So depending on where you fall on that whole spectrum of not eating animals, if you are in that spectrum, just something to know that your favorite wine or beer might not actually fit within your ethical eating guidelines. So just something to keep in mind. This Ridge, vegetarian. So they use egg whites.
We've got.
Sorry, I just wanted to explain that because a lot of people don't know.
Hey, this show is more than just drinking wine. It's educational too.
It's educational and tutus.
So we got some more comments coming in. Queen C. Asked if we're drunk.
I am not drunk. Are you drunk?
No, I'm not yet.
I'm not drunk.
It would appear that way because we have 5 bottles of wine in front of us, but we've just been drinking and reviewing little bits at a time. But I mean, that's not to say that we won't get drunk after the filming days, but and then go out and get get some food and get more drunk.
Yeah. But no, not drunk yet. But the point of this is like not to really get drunk, though it does happen.
I think our comments, just sorry to interrupt, I think our comments are a little bit behind, so we're sorry about that because we just a comment just came in from D about, oh yes, dear Adam, Batman. So we were toasting to Adam West a moment ago.
Yeah.
Yes. And Lee says that 9 out of 10 cannibals say that vegetarians taste better.
You know, a lot of my exes say vegetarians taste better too. Just gonna point that out.
Happy Pride Month.
Hi, Mom.
Hi to my mom as well.
You know, vegetarians do taste better. They actually, I'll tell you, I don't know, this might be kind of gross, but like, as a vegetarian...
Earmuffs for any children? I don't know what he's about to say.
Right. No, it's okay. It's PG-13. It's just,
okay.
It's just disgusting. But as a vegetarian, I will tell you that I can smell when people are not vegetarian. Like, people, their eating habits put off an odor, and if you don't consume it, you kind of, like, you notice that difference. And
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you get, like, you know, your pores give out. I think the easiest one that everyone can relate to is garlic. Like, you can smell garlic on someone.
Not Indian food, for some reason.
Right. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. That you know, it's like a smoker has a scent of smoke on them. A lot of the time, it'll be in their clothes, it'll be on their breath. It'll be with them. Coffee stays on your breath for a long time.
You get me, D. You understand. You've smelled some non-veggies.
Yeah, that was me before. So I'm a recent pescatarian. So, yeah.
Now you just smell like fish.
I just smell like fish. Is that what you like? No, that wouldn't be weird. She says cheers to your mommy, so cheers to you, Marion, again,
yes,
and cheers to my mother as well. She's not out; she's back in Minnesota. We've talked about a little bit before.
Are they going to move out here?
They have like a retirement place in Arizona, so that's really where they are. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You said they're in Arizona. They recently left Minnesota.
Well, they have both, so they spend summers in Minnesota.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but cheers to her as well for raising this. I think I'm all right. So.
So I want to point out kind of.
And happy birthday to Lee's mom.
Happy birthday!
75th birthday today. That's
that
incredible.
That is a huge accomplishment.
That is worth toasting to. Cheers to that.
That's 75 years of putting up with other people's crap. And that you get like a badge of honor for that kind of stuff. So what's your mom's name? Tell us your mom's name so we can wish her happy birthday.
These comments are pretty far behind, so
it
might be like 20 minutes until we get the
it says
it says the right time, but it's just things that we've been talking about are just coming through now.
Okay, so please wish your mom a happy birthday.
You can still leave the comment though, and then we'll wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah. In a little bit. So one thing that Ridge does, which I think is really interesting, is and this is just not like a winemaking perspective. This is actually just a agricultural perspective. They focus on what they like to call pre-industrial winemaking. And in short, industrial is like when like everything just got screwed up. It's when we started using more chemicals, more machinery, producing more and more and more, kind of, abusing the land for production's sake. And not that some of those things aren't good, but like, all those pesticides, all that stuff, we don't need that kind of thing, right? So, Ridge Winery, or Ridge Vineyards, what they do is they focus on what they call this pre-industrial winemaking, where they really try to use minimal mechanics, minimal everything, kind of like more of like an old world type, winemaking before it came to the States and all that stuff. So they're not, they handpick their grapes. So all the sorting, like a lot of vineyards, they have a machine that picks the grapes. It goes into the winery. It runs through a machine where it's all sorted, where they pull out the sticks and the bad grapes and leaves or whatever and all that stuff. Ridge does all that by hand in the vineyard. So thinking about that from like a power perspective, like energy use, pollution from that energy, but also just like the quality of the product. That, I mean, even though machines do a pretty darn good job, humans do better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 99% accuracy. So it's actually coming through. So I didn't want to interrupt you, but
sure.
Lee, it's actually the comments are back on.
Oh,
so
nice.
So happy birthday, Kathleen.
Happy birthday.
Lemire. So
I can't sing. Should we sing to her? I can't really sing, but can you sing? Here, we'll get some more. We'll get some.
Happy birthday from the
We'll get some.
Talking to Bed crew. Wish it was our birthday, so we could. Well, we're partying anyway.
We'll get some liquid courage.
All right.
And we're gonna sing her happy birthday.
I just did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
But we'll sing it again.
Actually,
Because why not?
Can you tell us what you're getting your mom for her birthday?
Oh, you don't want to give it away.
Well, maybe she's not watching. Is your mom watching?
She might.
You know what you might want to get her? This bottle of wine.
Ooh. Yeah. Does she like any wines? No. Crazy dudes, you go and go crazy. True.
You got it. Who's that from?
That's from Muna Ismail.
Okay, one more toast. But I'm going to say that, so Ridge, what they do is they focus on this kind of old world winemaking. And what that means, I think, is just having a better understanding of the product that you're plucking from the vineyard, right? Like, humans can evaluate the nuances of those grapes in a way that machinery can't. And I think the fact that they do that is really, really great. They have some other things here, too. They are... What was they worded it in a fun way. I want to make sure I don't mess it up.
And we get some notes from we reach out to all the winemakers every time.
And since we drink, we have to write it down. So they say they are by no means the largest grower in Sonoma County, but they are the largest grower of organically farmed grapes in Sonoma County.
There we go.
And
that's pretty great.
Like, there's a lot of freaking wine in Sonoma County, so that's a really huge accomplishment. But what does that mean as far as organic goes? So there's a couple different things that, when it comes to being organic, we talked about this earlier, but, it's like using cover crops and, reducing your pesticide use, or not using any pesticides at all if you're certified organic. Or using things that are natural, like you can use ladybugs, you can put praying mantis eggs out. Good insects.
Good bugs.
But providing vegetation that attracts those insects. You can use chickens, which will walk down and eat all the bugs throughout the vineyard. You just have to make sure that they can't reach the grapes.
And as I learned just a moment ago, pygmy sheep.
Pygmy sheep.
Great.
So one of the coolest things I've ever seen, this is a winery that's not featured here today, but this is Halter Ranch in Paso Robles. They have a solar chicken coop that they put out in the vineyard, and because of the sun provides the energy when it rises, powers the chicken coop to open the door, and the chickens run out, and they eat all the insects.
That's such a smart way to do it.
Right?
Too.
And then when it's dark, they're like, it's time to go home. They go back in, and the thing closes back up.
They gotta beat the sun.
Right. And so, using chickens, using pygmy sheep to eat the bad vegetation, eat the bad insects is, just one of the many ways you can be organic. They use cover crops. They compost the grape pomace. So what that means is when they, you get your grapes, you remove all the bad stuff. They do everything in field by hand, not mechanically. Ridge does. And then you press all that. Well, the waste that's left after you press it, there's a couple different things that you can do with it. You can actually ferment that waste, and I forget what it's called now. It's Italian liquor. Oh, it's escaping me. but it's like drinking fire. I mean, like if you want to put hair on your chest or like hair on the chest of like everyone around you when you drink it, like
I could use a little work with
that. They ferment that, but you can take that and you can actually compost it and like work it back into the field. So it's a natural fertilizer from, that sort of thing. So Ridge Winery does that. But yeah, the fact that they're like the largest grower of organically farmed grapes in
really
this
cool.
kind of region, like pretty freaking cool.
Cheers to that.
And delicious wine.
Yeah.
Delicious
This
wine.
is by far my favorite. So we got a couple of comments here.
Sure.
So
I might
Lee
leave
says, "Happy birthday, Mom," from the Straight Queens on YouTube. Well, you got half and half, right? One of us is straight, one of us is a queen.
Yeah.
More or less.
We're both queens. Let's just be honest.
This is true. I'm the straight queen. He's just a queen. So yes, happy birthday, Kathleen. And then who asked that? James asked, "What are you drinking?" So
Right.
you just mentioned that.
So I'll give you the full list.
Yeah.
We started off with this butter Chardonnay from Jam Cellars.
which is not as buttery as you'd expect from a
Right.
brand name.
I almost feel like the butter
very
like, sets you up to like expect more, and then like it's just well done.
Yeah, it's
You know?
nice and it's got a little bit of a crispness, a
I
little bit
was
of tart at
worried.
the beginning, and then just a hint of butter at the end that kind of smooths everything out. More creamy, as Jerry pointed out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried.
Yeah.
Then we have this this like gallon of rosé from Charles and Charles, which is super good, really crisp. This is a strawberry watermelon feta arugula salad type thing that you want to have with that. We got this Bodini red blend, which I think this is the Argentina wine, right?
Yeah.
So really
Tannin.
super delicious,
Yeah.
very tannin. I was a little worried because usually like I would say most of the wines that we had today very balanced. This one is not as balanced, and usually that's a bad thing, but not for this wine. They did a good job with it because it's really meaty.
Going great for the few of you that I know, D, you're not a meat eater, but for anyone that is, yeah, if you want to go grill up some meat, or you want to go to a steakhouse and enjoy your steak and
or
like a cigar.
portobellas. I mean, you want something
Right.
hearty. You want hearty.
But something hearty for sure.
Yeah. If you have this with like a light pasta with like some fresh veggies, like it's gonna overpower it. Like you do not want that. The Deloche, that was our Jam Curious wine, right? Like,
Hashtag Jam Curious.
Hashtag Jam Curious. So Zinfandel's kind of swing between peppery and jammy. This was like just a little bit on the jam side. Peppery enough to enjoy with a meal and still be really food friendly. Jammy enough just to drink the bottle by yourself and drunk out with a friend.
Yeah.
And now we are having Ridge, Three Valleys, I think that's what it's called.
Yep, that's what it is.
Sonoma County, 2014. Like, this wine is really, like, it's rich but not heavy. It's smooth.
Comes out swinging.
Yeah. I mean, there's just a lot going on.
Right off the bat. It doesn't smell, like the nose isn't that powerful. It doesn't seem like it's going to be.
No.
And I took that first swallow and I was just blown away. Come on, Jerry.
We're in bed.
Can't
What can
control
I can't
himself.
help but laugh. We're in bed. You
Yes.
talked about things in your mouth earlier. Like, it's not my fault.
And Dee's been eating organic for well over 15 years.
Oh,
Right for you.
nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
that's
Dee.
excellent. Right on the cutting edge of that, yeah.
Yeah. Did she say where she's located?
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah, tell us where you're located. We're kind of want
organs
to
for
know.
15 years.
was
Eating
that?
organs for 15 years is what Lee commented.
Organs. Daisy.
Fava bean.
So
Yeah, let
yes.
us know where you're from. If you're watching, if you're anyone out there that's tuning in, let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to see all the different places.
Yeah.
I actually
and
saw someone join that as a coworker of mine that's over in Poland, so that's kind of cool.
Poland,
Yeah,
nice.
so we've got all kinds of different places.
And as we point out, July 22nd is our next drinking in bed date. We're going to do a vertical of white wines. If there's a particular varietal,
It's summertime.
it is summertime. It is white wine time. It's pool party time. It's barbecue time. It is drive-in movie time.
All those wonderful things.
Yeah, all those wonderful things.
Unless you live in San Francisco like me, in which it's still foggy season.
That's true. June gloom.
But at least I'll know what to have in store for when September and October roll around when we get summer.
Right. So if you have a white variety that you particularly like, whether it's Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc, let us know. Pinot Grigio, Pinot Gris, which are just the same. If you have anything that you really, really like in the white wine spectrum, like leave a comment here. Oh, Utah. I see a Utah.
That's Lee. Yep.
Hi, Utah.
Woo!
We love the internet. It's so cool.
Yeah, leave us a comment here. Tweet at us at Jerry James Stone at Taylen24. Let us know what you like, and we'll try to make it happen.
And we will try to get better at putting the wines up beforehand, so you can try to join us.
We'll post it to all the socials.
All the socials. And, you know, like, so this, coming back to what we're drinking right now, I just want to point out, the thing that I think Ridge does really, really well is I feel like all of their wines kind of fall into the same spectrum. Like, they're all really strong, really well balanced, really well made. And I think that, you know, what they've focused on, which is this sort of, they call it pre-industrial. I just think of like old world winemaking, like before. So here's a little bit of a history lesson. Like we're going to get into like California wine history. So if you've paid attention to the alcohol content in California wines, it's been increasing year by year. And that's been happening since the 80s. And the reason that the alcohol content has gone up is sometime in the 80s, someone convinced California winemakers that when they used to kind of focus on this old world winemaking, kind of convinced them that everyone needs to irrigate. Now, irrigation's not bad. Like drip irrigation, there's a lot of technology to make sure that you give just the right amount of water. And here in California, water matters. Yeah. So, but what has happened is this sort of like spray and pray type scenario where it's just blast the fields with water because the risk of losing your crop is so high. And so you end up getting like bigger, more engorged grapes as a result. I tried to think of a different word, but you get these these grapes.
He's 10 years old.
These engorged grapes that have been just blasted with water. And as a result, like that water and sugar turns into more alcohol. So you can kind of go back and see the swing of alcohol for which, like, you know, back in the 70s was maybe 12, 13%. But now, like, more recently, we kind of push on 15, 16%. It's not a huge swing when you think about it in terms of numbers, but in taste, it is. Yeah. Like, it's that amount of alcohol in your wine. So I know, sorry, I'm just getting long-winded here. But what Ridge, by doing this kind of like old world farming and really paying attention to like your water consumption and farming in a way that is more in tune with the region and not just blasting it with water, you create a much more complex wine.
Don't feel dirty, Lee. He said that he's always talking about vegetarian and he's eating pork. He's eating pork roast. It's okay.
It's okay.
We don't judge.
I've been a vegetarian. Yeah, I've been a vegetarian since '86, but I don't judge. I think all I care about is people being conscious of what they're eating, where it comes from, and what it does to the planet, and not necessarily like, you know, the ingredients themselves, but just being mindful of the experience.
Go ahead and enjoy your meat,
and if you want this. Where is it? Yep. This one? This one. This is the meat wine. Yeah, the Buttery is like, this Argentine wine is definitely, and I have to say, just in general, Chilean wines.
It's Argentinian, but yeah.
But it has a little bit of Chilean.
Oh, does it?
Okay. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I didn't say it earlier, but it has some, like, you know, a little bit, some grapes from the Chilean area. But like, South American, there we go. South American wines, amazing. And definitely check out Buttery, because this is a great wine for, what's the meat?
He was eating pork roast. Yeah.
There you go.
That would be good for it. Dee says most of her family eats meat. They're still confused by her. Don't worry. Feel it.
It took my family 25 years. 25. I stopped eating meat in 1986. That said, I still had it a few times afterwards, but for the most part, I was in high school. It took my family 25 years to not bring it up at Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, every single time.
I was fortunate enough that I'm more recently on this strain, so it was kind of a more common thing, and so my family accepted it or understood it pretty quickly. So, again, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mom, for going out of your way to cook some meals that fit with my new eating.
I did it when you were sort of considered a heathen. By now.
86, I graduated from high school that year. Damn, I'm old. That's the year I was born.
I was a junior, so, you know, I was not far behind.
All right. Well, what do you think?
I think
time to go off and enjoy this wine.
I think we're gonna go drink a lot of wine.
We got a lot of wine to drink.
I will post if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on Facebook, I will post the wine list there. I'll tweet it out too, but you have to leave Periscope and go to Twitter at Jerry James Stone.
You might be watching on Twitter too.
Might be watching on Twitter, yeah. I'll post the list that we just had. Please let us know what you thought. Like, if you like the show, let us know. something you want to see, let us know. If you have a white wine,
Suggestions.
let us know.
Ways that we can improve the show, things you want us to talk about. If you liked us talking about the sustainability or education stuff, if there's anything you were curious about, let us know. Even if it's jam curious.
You want Taylen to dance around topless, let us know. There's no wrong answer. Thanks again for tuning in.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. And once again, Adam West, cheers. Like, best amazing Batman we could have ever asked for. You can't beat it.
Wonder Woman says bye.
We're gonna tune off here. Takes a second.
Have a nice glass of wine or whatever you enjoy for us.
And we're done.